Chuckles with the 15 months. Happy to have you on the team there, guys.
Shoot!
If you're starting off your 2020 like I am, looking to learn some new skills and just generally grow as a person, then Skillshare might be the place for you. It's an online learning community with so many creative and helpful people looking to help you on your journey of growth. Illustration, graphics design, photography. If you are pursuing something creative, Skillshare has a class for you. As somebody who recently started his own Instagram, Land1Gram, shameless plug, Skillshare has a course specifically for me in that regard. It is Instagram-worthy photography, shoot, edit, and share by Brandon Wolfel. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation there, Brandon. It's really helped me to think about lighting and angles and just really making those photos pop that little bit more. And with all those benefits that you get for joining Skillshare, you get all of them for less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. But if you act now and click the link in the description, you can get 2 months absolutely free just for signing up. So thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this episode, and welcome to the Talkcast Podshow. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Talkcast Podshow, the #1 show on the internet and the Choosy Mom's peanut butter. I'm joined here this week by Kirran and Grant. How you guys been?
I'm pretty good. Kind of tired, been working on a bunch of different stuff and holidays kind of all jammed together. So this has been sort of a rebuild January, but I've not been doing a good job in that, and instead of relaxing, stressing about multiple little things and you know.
Yes, that
January stuff.
Yeah, that adult lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, Kirran? How you doing?
I'm tired, man. I'm the same. I go to bed at 4. My cat thinks it's awake at 8. Who the fuck gets up at 8 in the fucking morning, you little bitch? I'm tired. But I'm good.
That's good. You guys had a good break though. Like, Grant, I know you went out of town to see family.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of family. I hung out. I try to. I don't go home for Thanksgiving, so I make my Christmas break extra long because my family loves celebrating both those holidays and kind of doing multi-day things with them. So missing one of them, I feel like I owe them a little more on the Christmas side. But yeah, had a good time. Got to see a bunch of family. Played a bunch of Smash Brothers with my siblings because apparently that's like they've all been getting way into that. So that was a lot of the Christmas break with family was being like, hey, let's go down to my brother's room. He's got a big ass TV and a cool sound system and just blow our eardrums out with Smash Brothers.
Now, as a Project M player, do you still school them, or is it an even field here?
My younger brother has always been the best one out of
all. Oh, really?
That's the secret.
Oh, he's the
younger brother taught him everything.
Yeah. My younger brother is actually the one who's been at no matter what Smash game we start picking up, he's the one who always gets better than me at it. So it holds true with this current one. His Donkey Kong is really annoying and really gets me mad sometimes. So you know that's real fun. But my younger sister has never really played with us, and her husband recently moved in with them, so like he's there too. So we kind of added them to the fold, and they definitely don't have quite the experience my brother and I do, but it was pretty impressive to see how quickly they were figuring things out and being able to at least have, you know, kind of situational awareness and be like, okay, I'm falling behind. I need to let those two beat themselves up for a while and then come in.
The GoldenEye strategy.
Exactly. Like they were at least doing because my younger sister, like she grew up with us but didn't really play a ton of video games, so the concepts that kind of just come with that of being like, all right, I'm falling behind, I need to strategize here and let other people fuck themselves up a little bit more, and then we come in kind of stuff. But yeah, it was real fun and a good time.
Is it weird to you that the Tournament of Power and Super basically plays by Smash Brothers rules?
I guess you got to get knocked out of the
you have to get knocked out of the arena to lose.
Well, we don't. But they don't. There's no scoring system though. They don't have a.
It's one stock. One stock.
Well, yeah. Okay. It's just a one stock.
One stock, big arena.
It's a one stock game and a time thing. So I guess if each of your members of your team are one stock of your 10 stocks of a team,
or you could just be playing a very big team game.
I mean, yeah, because it's just whoever has the most team members left won at the end, right? Okay, yeah.
Just so happened to be one person left. Go figure. Anime.
Yeah. Well,
oh wow. Yeah.
Surprise.
Kirran, how about you? What'd you tackle over your break? You go visit family, do anything fun?
I didn't go anywhere, man. They came here, which was nice. It was nice to not have to. I've been traveling ever since I've moved out. I've been having to go. It's always got to go back home. It was really cool having them come out, and we did Christmas early. So like before everybody else is celebrating, I'm like, I already did Christmas, man. I'm good. We're just chilling out. We went and saw Cats on Christmas Day, and that was.
Ooh.
I'm still sad that I never found a group to go see that with, because I was intrigued by it, intrigued by the horror that was Cats, but there was no way I was going to go see it alone.
After the first 20 minutes, you're just kind of numb.
Oh, that's sad.
Like, it's just like, you get it. Like, that was my break. Cats ruined fucking everything.
Cats ruined Christmas. Were you able to look at Noriko the same way after getting back?
Oh my god, no, not at all. Just knowing that, just like the last literally 5 minutes of the movie is just Judi Dench yelling at you that a cat isn't a fucking dog. Like, no fucking shit. I know. You can't pet a dog like a cat like a dog. And then two people in our theater were like...
It's the Christmas crowd. This was the lonely cat ladies getting out, and you.
That's true!
And they were just like, they're not dogs!
They are, in fact, not, and you can't pet them that way.
Oh my god. I want to go to Jellicle hell. But no, it's been good. I've been working a ton on this game. That's been like my whole past year and nonstop. That's about it. Working on that. Had them come out. It was a good time. Been chilling out and doing that. You
and I were talking a little bit about that before the show. Yeah. I know you recently had to go back and like rework some stuff. I'd been working on an RPG for the TFS at the Table campaign, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Like, how many spreadsheets do you have?
I mean, okay, like spreadsheet, Google Sheets doc, I think is like 200, 300 megabytes to get an idea, like for a document, right? That like you don't think about that for a document.
Yeah, no, that's bigger than some books.
It's
like, I got all like these videos and all these pictures and stuff, but I have pages and pages and pages of just like, because honestly, I'm trying to do like a card game, video game thing. So it's so many card games are just numbers. I hate math.
And you've been teaching yourself to code for it as well, right?
Yeah, as much as I can. I'm probably just going to use this plugin in Unity, because trying to learn C# on top of doing all this stuff is... Nah, that's a nightmare.
You can only grab so many skills at a time here. I mean...
Only so many available on Skillshare.com.
Exactly. Our sponsor for today's episode. An ad you probably would have seen by now.
But yeah, it's been crazy working on all that stuff, seeing the steps come together. But like just the other day, I had to... Stephen King would have been proud. I had to murder some of my darlings. Took everything that was here. I was like, I'm going to make it have this, like, a pacifist win con. Think about a card game where you can win by not fighting. Isn't that cool? I did. I had to cut it. It's just not working.
It's sad. Like, you get an idea sometimes, and maybe you fall in love with it, but then when it just doesn't work out, or it makes the product less good, it's heartbreaking when you're like, maybe later. Yeah, it's something else.
I know. It's just being able to cut something and go, I think this will make it a better game. I can look at that and go like, no, that's a good idea. I think that's the right move.
It's kind of hard to cut yourself off from that. Going back a little bit to Smash and games. How did you guys feel about the latest announcements? Byleth?
Yet another, as the only person of these three that I believe who played Three Houses not only to completion but started a second campaign.
I did beat the game.
Okay,
I beat it with one campaign on the Blue Lions.
That's the only one I haven't. I haven't beaten Black Eagles.
This
yet.
Is your fault.
I'm like 2/3 the way into it. But yeah, Byleth is probably the least interesting character of that game, so that makes it feel kind of extra insulting. I do think that, and this is going to be my devil's advocate, I'm going to be the positive member of this couch, I think.
Fuck you!
I do think it's neat that we're giving them multiple weapons to choose from.
There's smash attacks, Grant!
Shush.
Shut your fucking mouth!
And that's real neat. It's not just a sword guy. He's also got an axe, and they have a spear, and you can pull out a bow.
A spear's just a long sword.
Bow is just Kirran. A sword you throw. But
axe is just a heavy sword.
The thing though that like really kind of got me when someone brought it up is just like, with all the other things in this game, it feels like a celebration of video games and stuff. when Fire Emblem characters come in, it feels like now it's a commercial, and it's like, hey, check out that new Fire Emblem game that's real popular. You should look into it. We got DLC coming later this year, and Byleth coming to Smash. Like it feels like a big. Like they're pushing something, whereas other things definitely feels much more like, man, video games are neat, aren't they? Here's Banjo, and like, but also real quick, do yourself a favor and just look at the lineup of DLC characters when they show that whole first season, and how weird Banjo looks because it is just anime boy, Banjo, anime boy, and it's just like, oh, what?
And now anime boy girl?
Yeah, like anime duo.
I know it's like one of the most disliked videos regarding Smash ever, especially official.
Yes.
And it's obvious why. It's because, it's just another Fire Emblem character, and the precedent was set that's like, every single one of these characters you've released so far has been from a third party.
Yeah.
And there was no way they were going to be able to keep that up, because that's a licensing nightmare. But man, like the backlash that I've seen from this, I'm uninvested. So it's neither
from a
here nor there
gameplay
to me.
perspective, I think it'll be a fun character to play. But man, from anything you could have picked, probably one of the worst. I liked the theory that there was going to be another third party character for this slot, but they were like, this is going to close out our season, and we have to advertise a second season. And you know who would not sell a season 2 pass? First character, Byleth.
Oh, yeah.
People would be like, no, thank you.
Very true.
So they're saving what might have been originally the final slot, and they kind of just went, let's move Byleth here. They've already bought that season pass. We're probably not very many people come in and buy only the last DLC character that came out in a season pass. So we're not going to lose anybody doing this. And then season 2, we open with holy shit, it's Minecraft Steve. And then everyone freaks out.
Yeah, and then it's Minecraft Steve, and then the next character is the deer person, and then the other house,
Goose.
and then the other house, and then the new wolf house for the new Fire Emblem game.
Perfect. Yeah, no, excellent. I love
by
it.
the time you get to the end of the next expansion, or by the time you get to the end of that, it'll probably have a new Fire Emblem game to rip people from.
Hell yeah, dude!
Now, do you think there's going to be a new Animal Crossing character in this upcoming game that they can kind of force?
Tom Nook costs $10 extra.
You guys,
you have to pay off your house in order for Tom Nook.
every time you want to play Tom Nook, you have to pay a quarter.
Dude, he's the first microtransaction-based character. Would he be allowed in tournaments if he could just pay $10 and get an instant KO?
Oh man. Okay, yeah. We need to make sure you submitted this money. That's the only way you can play this character. You had to add it to your tournament fee.
God, how many characters did they announce? 11, in the next pack, or 12, or
no, the next pack is gonna be 6.
It's gonna be 11 newcomers total. With that 6.
Yeah, because there was 5 in this one, so there are gonna be 6 more in the next pack.
Oh, okay, so that's just the total amount of characters. That's still, for a game that's been out for what?
Over a year now.
Over a year now.
It came December of 2018. So
that's still some pretty good upkeep on a game that's been out for that long. I mean, I know live services are kind of the thing now, but Nintendo has never really been a part of that trend, and it doesn't look like this isn't a live service thing, because it's just a season update, but it's still kind of cool that they're keeping up and trying to push more stuff, and it sounds like they're already negotiating or already figured out what those characters are going to be. Otherwise you wouldn't say we have this many.
With I think it's really touching too, because with Sakurai, all these interviews when he talks about this continued support for the game, he always mentions Iwata wanting, he was like, make this the best Smash, so he has to do it good by him to make this as good as he possibly can. So as mad as I want to be, I can sit here, I'll be huff gamer man, but I still I'm super happy with what it is right now, and I think it is. I've been playing it so much, trying to get into it and get really excited about these reveals. It's really
this
cool
is the first one in the cycle for you to be
this is the first one I was like,
because you came in for Terry basically.
Yeah, I started playing for Terry,
and then. So the next exciting DLC edition you get to look forward to is the most disappointing one so far in the history.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
Nice timing. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, there's not much that can be done there. I mean, it's nice that they have that thing going, but Segues are weird.
Yeah.
Nah, I got it.
It has so many characters, and there's so many words in the English language, like these ones.
I think what I was trying to get around to was like I'd love to play more Smash, but I just have not had the time because there's so many goddamn games coming out every fucking month. I was when Cyberpunk was announced that it got pushed back to September, people were really upset. I'm just like, thank God.
Yes, please. No, there's so many things. I still have Medieval, the new one, sealed. I haven't opened it yet. I still want to play it.
And not to mention, like, April was already going to be crowded since Final Fantasy already got pushed back to there, and you got the Resident Evil 3 remake coming out then. Yeah. Did either of you guys play the Resident Evil 2?
No, I watched a playthrough of 2. I did not play it myself. I played some of it, but I watched it played and was like, you know, this I recognize its quality even just from watching it. Like, that is a well-made game for sure.
Capcom has been on point lately. I mean, between that and Devil May Cry 5
and Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which apparently has DBZA reference in it.
Really?
Its latest expansion, there's a monster named Popo, and the quest name for it is Popo's Pecking Order.
That's
what? That's crazy.
I'm ashamed of you, Capcom.
Thank you. I love you. Like that made my day when I heard that.
I take back all the Mega Man merch.
No, that's cool.
I'm excited to get to RE3 because when I was younger, I never actually beat any of the Resident Evil games. I always started them, but then I just gave up on them because I'm terrible at managing resources.
That and just some of those like Moon Logic puzzles later on too. Yeah. At least like in the first one, I never beat the first or second one. I had to do away.
Yeah, I still haven't beaten Resident Evil 1, just because of how obtuse some of those puzzles are. It's like, oh well, this gas is filling the room. Did you grab the moon runes from like 5 stages? Oh, you didn't. Oh, you're dead.
The first time I beat it was the DS version, which was probably the easiest.
Oh, I forgot that version.
Right? We had a little swipe mini game. Wow. I loved it. That was great.
We would always play horror games like that kind of as a family. My brother was like the brave one who would hold the control, and the rest of us would kind of just like crowd around the TV and watch and like give suggestions and be like, "Don't go in there!" when you knew he had to go in there, treating it like a horror movie. I know we played through at least the first 3 Resident Evils. 4 was around when we kind of stopped all getting together to do it. The only horror game I can think of where it's like obtuse puzzles kept us from ever completing it was the first Silent Hill. Like, and I can tell you, people who've played this game can go back. At some point, you have to play a song on a piano, and like at this point, none of us read music, none of us knew how to play piano, none of us knew where notes were, but I think you had to play a specific song, and I think your only hint was, here's some sheet music, and it's like, what do you do?
What do you want from me?
And what is this language?
And that stopped us. So, hey, if you can tell me what happens after that, I'd really appreciate it.
What's the biggest barrier you guys have to completing a game? Because mine is like, ever since I was a kid, my biggest problem was I would always get bored and find something new and just glom onto that very quickly. Like, there are so many games in my past that I played a lot of, but I never beat. I never beat Mario 64. I never beat Banjo-Kazooie. They're like, the game has to be relatively short to keep my attention.
Absolutely.
Like, I beat GoldenEye and I played the hell out of that.
Yeah.
But then there are so many games that I just like, oh, I'm done with that. Oh, hey, Need for Speed 2.
I think what affects me honestly lately, and I think I could even see it early, like late high school, is just it needs to have a very tight gameplay. Like, there needs to be a lot of stuff happening, or a narrative that has a lot of stuff happening. Like, if there's any moment where I need to multitask during the game, where I need to like, okay, I'm bored doing this, I'm probably not gonna finish it. Like, I'll get in like really invested, like, oh, this is really cool. But as soon as like we hit like 2 hours into a new game, I can at least do 2 hours. But like something will happen. Oh, here's where the action kind of falls off. I'm probably gone.
And yet you beat Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, right?
I didn't beat Xenoblade.
You didn't beat it?
No, I played Xenoblade Chronicles X because that's a completely different thing.
How are they different? I'm curious.
X is the one where you're like, it's like Macross, Robotech shit, where like these aliens, you've landed on this new planet and you have a city. And there's all these little jobs you can do, and you have a giant robot. And the giant robot is all I cared about. I want the giant robot. That's why I played.
That is why I enjoyed Xenogears.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get in a giant robot, like you're seeing these enormous monsters that you can't fight until you get your giant robot. So I played till I got my giant robot, and then I stopped.
Got to that goal, and you were finished.
What's your typical barrier to
finishing
games there?
I've recently realized, despite loving RPGs, I kind of hate if you have to go in menus a lot. And so if there's like a lot of stuff where it's like, all right, now you're upgrading this, now you're upgrading this, swap, like customize this stuff. Like I think that I have a very thin line of like, I want a lot of customization, but if you give me like one step too many, I am immediately going to be like, man, this game gives you too much numbers to just sort through, and I don't want to deal with it. Like I was enjoying, was it last year? No, the year before, God of War. I really liked it, but they started like giving you a bunch of like, all right, you can customize this, and here are these sigils you can have that'll like give you little buffs, and here's like this armor stuff, and you can upgrade your weapons, and it's like. There was a layer of me that was like, that's cool, that I can customize all this stuff. But then it started being like, all right, well, now I got to run back to that dwarf guy. I got to give him all this materials. I got to get this stuff. And I just don't like doing that a lot.
The
like,
back and forth busy work kinda...
Yeah, it just kind of started wearing on me. And it was like, I didn't even get super far in. And I'm sure there's even more. Like, and I know that like everyone loved that game. Like everyone was talking about it. I'm sure there's tons of good stuff to mine there.
It's definitely my favorite game of 2018. I'll say that.
But like, I don't know if it was like the timing of it or something, but it was just like, I hit a point where I was just like, I don't like running around and dealing with these menus and doing this stuff, and the game around it I'm not enjoying enough to do that. And I think I didn't get very far into it, but another game that I know you loved this year, Devil May Cry, I kind of stopped really quickly just because it was like, all right, now here's a menu with like 6 different arms for you to test out with Nero. And I'm just like, I'm already kind of just figuring out how to control this. I don't want to already have to be thinking about this stuff as I'm getting into it. And it just kind of made me go like, I don't know if I'm really going to mess with this that much more. And then like something else came out and I just got distracted by that and just kind of never went back to it, even though the act of playing it felt really good. But then it was like immediately after this mission, here's a ton of stuff to now, like you kind of have to test and figure out what you want, which I think is cool, but you have to like meter it out somehow. It's hard for me to put into words exactly how I'd want you to do it, but
yeah, I think the arm thing is significantly less obtuse than like, you know, gem grinding or rune finding and things like that. Because whenever you're grabbing the arms, you literally find them throughout the level. So whatever your starting lineup is, it doesn't really matter too much. You can either use it or blow it up to get to your next one. And honestly, it's a play style thing. It is weird that they all do like a very specific thing and you're trying to choose exactly like which one is right for what situation until you just give up and decide, you know what, the sword's good for pretty much everything. I'm just gonna use the sword. I think the common denominator with a lot of things that you're talking about there are because I know a game series that you like a lot is Civ, which is nothing but micromanagement.
True.
But the micromanagement is the gameplay loop.
Yeah.
As opposed to something like an action RPG where all of a sudden once you get too bogged down and you're not able to do the stuff that you actually want to do that you find enjoyable in the game, that's what rips you out of it.
Pretty much.
And it's these things that a lot of games are doing now to try and make you like, they're trying to grab
everything's
like that,
an RPG now.
And not even just an RPG, but they're trying to go for those mobile like gotcha elements where it's like you need to have a secondary currency, and the secondary currency you get from playing the game. But if you do a certain kind of thing, you get even more of it. You can spend that to make your primary gameplay loop go even better.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need every game to have like crystals or dust or gold or shit I'm trying to find all the fucking time.
I do really hate that. That is my least favorite thing of like any live service game. It's like,
oh, but if you have the platinum, then you can get
double rewards,
double gun, and welcome to double XP weekend where you this thing, etc.
Which is why I'm really glad that they recently, or not even recently, but over the past couple of years have completely redone Battlefront 2.
I was just going to say, I can say that, but I'm over here like, I got to grind for all these cards in Battlefront 2, so let's go.
you do have to grind for the cards, but it's not the same as it was where you had to open random packs to get them.
That is, I can't even imagine at least, like it being like that. That is absurd. That's so bad.
At the very least, now it's you play as a certain class enough, you level up, and you choose which one you want to improve. You know what? That's fine. That's progression. It still really punishes people that want to get into the game.
No, yeah. Like, I was playing it a ton, and then my girlfriend was like, that looks fun. It's like $12. I'm going to get it on Origin. Let's play, like, a Galactic Assault together. I'm dying every 5 seconds because everybody has epic cards. And I'm
everybody's got full purple stacks of their Darth Maul, and I can't hurt them.
What are you going to do?
It's just, you got to play to, like, it's that weird barrier to entry that, I don't know, they're trying not to punish people that have been playing for so long that they already built this stuff, but it's really hurting people that want to get into it. And granted, these cards, they aren't like super duper OP, but as soon as you're adding like, you know, 5% damage to your normal weapon. That adds up.
I mean, you're some of the higher end stuff is like 30% more health. Like that's a lot. You're not gonna die to sniper shots anymore.
Yeah, increase the blast radius of your grenade by 2, whatever 2 is in there.
2 units.
Yeah.
No, it's this trend in games. They're trying to hook people. They're trying to make it their one game. You know, that you are playing this one game and that's it. And you know, maybe if I was younger, back when I was getting one game a year, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. But as now I can have the ability to get more stuff and try to play more things and find indie stuff that's more exciting, it's harder to get into that kind of stuff.
Really?
Good.
Oh, sorry. No,
I was gonna say for me, it's funny that you mentioned like they want to make that one game. My one game lately has been Risk of Rain 2, which one is not even technically finished. 2 has like no microtransactions in it whatsoever. It's just run based, and for some reason that's like just enough for me to be like, well, I gotta try again. Like anytime I'm like, I just did this for, you know, I did a long ass run where I, you know, kind of just hung out and did it for like an hour and a half, and then I died by some random thing that there's no way I could have solved because it came from off screen, and everything's like, damage is insane because it just gets exponentially harder the longer you're playing.
You get blasted by one of the jellyfish nukes.
And you're just gone, and it's like, there's nothing I could have done about that. That's really frustrating. Let's start another.
Exactly.
And it's just like, I want to go again.
Clearly that wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong.
I'm great. I'm perfect at this game. I've never made a mistake. It's only when the game cheats that I loses. This time it's not going to cheat.
Yeah.
And then it does. And then the cycle starts again. And all of a sudden it's 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I've got to be on stream tomorrow. I should probably go to bed.
Of course, then you have those runs where it's like, you get the perfect items. Like, you get all the life sap. You get that whenever you kill an enemy, you get 3 maximum health or something, and then you get all the once an enemy dies, it shoots fireworks that'll also destroy every other enemy. And like for every run where you feel like the game's just been a bastard to you, all of a sudden you turn it back on them, and then you get one too many items and it stacks you and only gives you like 3 rabbit's feet or something.
I got to the point, like, we have gotten to the point where we had to go like, hey, I'm too tired to keep going with this 3-hour run. Also, I don't think we can lose because I'm playing as the robot who has 2 equipments, one of them being the missile launcher. I got the lunar item that halves your cooldowns and shoots it automatically. And then I got all fuel cells, like I got 20 fuel cells, so I have 0 cooldown, shooting rockets every time, and I'm shooting BFGs as a primary shot. I got footage of this. It's so good. We're just like, I don't think I can lose. I'm shooting BFGs like an MP5. I think we got it.
But I think that's what a lot of games are missing these days, and that's just that absurd fun factor. It's fun to play a broken character.
Yes.
Let games be broken.
I think that's what made late game Bloodstained so friggin' good. It's just, you feel insane and you're flying across the game, and it's just like, this was intentional. They built this in here. They knew you would do this.
That's why they give you the best power last. It's like, Zawarugo!
Yeah,
that's cool.
You just go insane, and it's so cool.
It's absolutely amazing. My one game recently has kind of on the other side where it actually kind of needs balance. Whenever you're playing something that's competitive multiplayer, quote unquote competitive, too much RNG. Teamfight Tactics is something I've been playing a lot, which is for those that don't know, an auto battler card game type game. It's fun. It's by Riot, so it had a bunch of characters that I already knew from like a decade ago when I was still playing League.
So a little nostalgic seeing all those characters again to me.
Which is what brought me back in. Like I re-downloaded the client because of the KDA song a couple years back. Never booted it up, but then I saw Teamfight Tactics and I'm like, you know what? I could see trying that. And I've been going like nonstop on that. That's the game I've been playing kind of just all in my dead time.
It's such a good game too, and it really has like just such a nice fast loop to it that you're just like every like couple minutes it's intense, then you have the cooldown, then you got intense cooldown. Like it's really nice. And even though the games go for like 40 minutes sometimes, it's still,
they can, but if you get eliminated, it's like, okay, I'm done, let's try another.
Yeah, let's do another one. So like, I got a bad roll, whatever, let's do it again.
That guy was taking my comp. Screw him.
Yeah. And that's something too, like studying all this like game design psychology stuff. It's so fascinating seeing how all these games are implementing random mechanics to preserve player feelings. It's not your fault that Ragnaros hit you. It's this stupid game. You should play it again.
Come on, keep trying.
Roll those dice again. Maybe you won't.
Yeah. Maybe next time you'll get it right. And every now and again you hit that RNG just and it's like, oh yes,
that was That's right.
All
I'm so good.
I calculated that out to the T.
Yeah, all according to Cake every time.
Every single time. Going on to games, though, staying on the topic of games, I guess, you guys were recently at PAX.
Yeah, it was fun.
Were there any real standouts for you there at PAX South? Because I know they're big on everything. They got tabletop, mobile, video games, console and PC. There
was one in particular, the one that really caught my eye that I was from day one seeing that I really wanted to do it was this thing called Sound Self, and I think I heard about it beforehand.
I've heard that name.
It's this VR, not even a game, it's an experience more so than anything, where you're just kind of laying down, you got a VR headset, and it's supposed to be like this guided meditation that you activate with your voice. So as you're sitting there, doing the typical meditative, just like the intonation stuff, the game starts playing it back to you and making all these crazy fractals, and you're sitting here under this tree. Well, I mean, really, to set the scene, the whole thing was the CEO, the guy who's making this game, the Andromeda Entertainment's the company, and the guy Robin, he was so fucking nice. Talked to all about Flower and Journey and everything, all these really spiritual games and stuff with him. Yeah, he talked about how he's been working on this for 7 years, and he's sitting in the middle with all these little beanbag chairs serving people Chinese tea. I don't remember what kind of tea it is, but he's got to break it off the cracker, super legit stuff.
Yeah, he has a whole thing.
A whole thing in the middle of PAX, right next to fucking secret neighbor over there. this guy's over here having our meditative Zen ceremony going on. I'm like, that's the one thing I'm gonna do. And we had to wait in line for a while because a lot of people were intrigued by it.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Getting to sit down and do that, and I was having such a terrible day, and being able to do that, share tea and talk with him, and then actually doing it on these gamer
haptic feedback beds.
Gamer haptic feedback recliner chairs that were bass activated, so they're rumbling as you're going. I'm just I'm on another planet and I haven't even taken anything yet. It was honestly really cool, and I think that's coming out in March or April, and I can't wait to do that more.
That sounds that's definitely something I need to look into. Is it just going to be on Oculus and Vive, or is it also going to be on that new Oculus mobile version?
I know there's a Steam page. I don't know if this could run on a Quest. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But that was for sure. There was a lot of VR stuff this
there's
year.
Actually quite a bit.
A lot of people showing off some cool VR stuff. A lot of rhythm games. A lot of
what was the? I think it was also.
It was also the same.
Because it was in the same area. But their dance VR game looked really good.
Yeah, it was like Beat Saber, where you have a blue and an orange left and right, and you're just kind of there's a circle coming at you like Tempest, and you're trying to hit all the spots and crossing over and doing all this kind of stuff.
So it's a cross between Just Dance and Beat Saber.
Yeah, kind of. It's got full body movement and stuff to it. That was really cool. There was they're seeing some Freedom Planet 2 was cool. I didn't get to play much of it, and I hadn't even played the first one. But getting to talk to Jason over there at their booth, he was a super nice guy. I was like, this is really cool. I'm excited to see indie games getting as much of a presence as some of these higher companies there too. It was really cool.
I know we've been seeing the ever-present downfall of E3 as Sony's not even going to be there again this year.
And they have a PS5 coming out.
Yeah, they have a whole console
if there was
to
a year where
announce.
they do seem like they would want to make every press appearance they could, it would be this one. And so I'm honestly surprised.
Yeah, and I was the last time I went to any big gaming conference, I was there for I think E3 2012, and that was the last year that Nintendo did a conference there.
Mm-hmm.
Grant, were there any big standouts for you at PAX?
I didn't get to play a ton of stuff just because there were so many lines. One game though that I did play that I really liked. It was pretty simple indie game. It was called Kunai, and you're this little. There's a little opening sequence where you're a robot that gets woken up, and you have these different upgrades you can find. And among the first upgrades you find, first one you find is a katana, so it's just your basic attack that you're kind of swiping with. But then you find a right kunai, and it only attaches to your right hand. So you can shoot a little kunai grappling hook kind of thing, just at a perfect angle right here from on your right side, and then you use that to navigate a simple puzzle, and then out of that puzzle you find a left kunai, so now you can shoot it in either direction. And then they start giving you these weird tunnel puzzles that you can use to climb with these kunais as you're just launching them out. and it just controlled really well, felt really smooth, and there was like really good physics with like the grappling and swinging and stuff, and you just got to do like really cool puzzles. It was definitely like seems like a simpler kind of smaller game, but like I had a lot of fun messing with it.
Sometimes those are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, just last year, Katana Zero. I played that.
I need to play that. It's man, that looks so cool.
It's to give the basic concept. I'm sure you know enough about it, but it's that sort of Hotline Miami. One hit will kill you, but one hit will normally kill your enemies as well, kind of deal. And just like the lightning fast restart when you die, it's like okay, back to the same crap. And like you can slow down time, you can do all this cool shit. It was one of my favorite games last year, easily a standout among all of these other amazing games that came out and all the games that are continuing to pour out. But yeah, I'll have to keep my eye out for Kunai. Do you know?
I don't know exactly when it's coming out. I know it's a PC game. I think it might have also been saying it was on Switch. So, but yeah, as far as the time frame for it, I don't really know. I just played the demo.
It sounds sweet.
Yeah, it was fun. And there were plenty of other things there.
Just lots of lines.
Just a ton of lines, honestly.
We were hoping that we could like, hey man, look, I'm a special
content
guest,
creator.
You know? Can I get him?
But there are like 30,000
sorry,
other people there.
Sorry,
with that
if you don't have a purple badge, you're not important.
Yeah, it turns out the secret was like, what was it? Like showrunner and exhibitor.
Yeah, showrunner
were like
or something.
The two things that got you clearance to just skip lines. The thing I didn't realize and was kicking myself for before is it did put us on a list, like an email listing, and all these people were like, we can set up times for you to come to our booth and we will just give you a demo. And I completely missed that going in and didn't realize that's what they were doing. And
this was our first year, and it was like really last minute when we were told we'd be able to go. We weren't even sure like. I think like the deadline had passed before we had even learned that we're going.
Yeah. No, that's something that I definitely want to do again because it was really cool just to actually like meet the people who are making the games. Like it really it's an exhibition. Like everybody just showing off. Hey, here's us. Here's our company. Here's our games. Blah blah blah. Let's talk. Being able to do that and like put faces to names and see like the team that is making these games and just as somebody who's trying to make his own game, talk to people about like how does that work for you? What have the struggles been? All this kind of stuff is like. Got me invigorated again to like no, this is what I want to do.
There is that magical sort of feeling because I mean we all grew up loving video games. They're probably more of a part of our childhood than a lot of other media in a lot of ways. And just going there and seeing some of the people behind it and getting to see like some of the behind the scenes and not to mention getting that exclusive first look before the public gets to see a lot of it, even though it's a public event, but whatever. Yeah. It's just like there's something so special and magical about going to something like that.
And there were so many kids there.
Yeah,
like I can't imagine being like 8 or 10 years old and seeing that.
Right?
Like that would have
been life changing for me.
If
I read about E3 and like Nintendo Power and stuff and saw pictures of it and was like, wow, if I was a millionaire or something, I'd probably be allowed to go to something like that. That'd be cool.
Do you remember like reading in the back of the magazine sometimes it would be like you enter our contest and win like you can join us at E3 this year. It's like I can't believe never got it, but still it's like that's the dream when you're a kid.
It was the magic thing.
Just seeing so many little kids there just like eyes wide with their Hello Neighbor mask. Like I'm just like, man, I'm so happy for you, little dude. I'm sure this is gonna be amazing and honestly a brilliant marketing tactic because now that kid's gonna love your brand for the rest of his life.
Gets to go to school when they get back with their Hello Neighbor mask and take it off.
I also not exactly game developers, but Mixer had a very big presence there.
Did they?
And that was fun going up there and just kind of razzing them a little bit and being like, so hey, I'll be honest with you, I use Twitch. What do you got for me? What do you have that would sway me to your side other than a big bag of money? Like
and they said, who the fuck are you? You're not Ninja. He said, go, I don't care.
But it was fun talking to them and like. Joking aside, I think it is good to have some sort of competition in that area. So like it's good they exist. I can't take that away.
We ran into that issue a long time ago because nobody ever put up competition for YouTube. Yep. So now you sit with a company that has essentially a monopoly on
videos.
I love that we're talking about like competition for potentially like on the 2 platforms that we are airing
that we are on. Yeah. No. Hey, look. It's honest.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Blip used to exist until a YouTube company bought them.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think it's interesting too, seeing like even like browsers starting to like have competition again now. Like now people are trying to. It's just interesting seeing how like it ebbs and flows with like, oh, there's like now everything's Chrome. Oh, Chrome sucks. I feel like we might see this. Like trend of things trying to compete with YouTube, and I hope so.
What do you think? Like, because right now with the whole YouTube thing, they just have so much. Like, there's just everyone and everything is there.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fight that? Like, come on, let's ask the tough question.
If I had the answer, I wouldn't be here, man.
If he had the answer, he would have built it.
Fair enough.
No,
or at least found some people to do it.
Yeah, like I feel like there's just Google's resources are not infinite, but holy shit, they're large.
Yeah.
If any company is going to do it, it would have to be something like Amazon.
And they're trying to like push Twitch in that way. Like even we've talked to people and they're like, hey, use let's have like premieres host videos on Twitch. I feel like isn't DBZA like still like on Twitch?
I think so, but I think they also got rid of that.
Yeah,
feature.
I think they actually
did. They?
Yeah, the video premiere feature.
That.
Because I don't think enough people were using it, and I guess like maybe the ad revenue they were getting from it just was not making up for the server space they were using.
It's tough. I honestly think YouTube's player is the big difference.
It really is. I mean, it is a good player.
It's so good. It just works on everything.
The best player.
Yeah. But really, I think you're just going to see more people doing more things, like, and just to make their pot, more attractive to more people.
I mean, Facebook's been really trying. Facebook's also been trying to get into streaming lately.
Yeah.
They got like that Facebook streaming. I know a couple of streamers that I used to follow, specifically some TFT people. Disguised Toast is one that I used to follow, who now streams exclusively on Facebook. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, I think Streamlabs is like pushing something with it too. Like they were doing some stream on Facebook, get rewards,
something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, I think more stuff like that. Honestly, Twitch, hey, you're already doing it, but like, when's that Amazon Prime watch along stream thing?
Oh yes,
because then
absolutely.
I'll never leave.
Yeah,
like if we can go, hey, stream your Prime library with your stream, and you can just talk. There's so much anime. There's so much stuff. We can be the MST3K we've always wanted to be.
It's true.
We will gladly beta it for you. Stream4Star is there for you, Amazon and Twitch. Twitch is on.
I don't know how much that, how far along that is. If that was just like kind of like a rumor thing, but I feel like I keep hearing about it. And man, I want that to happen.
I absolutely do. I've wanted to watch the new Suspiria for so long, but I haven't found anybody that wants to watch it with me. If I could watch it with Twitch chat, I'd be down.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I would just find every pilot of every show I could and just be like, all right, here we go. Let's do fall review of 2014. All of these things that got one episode on Amazon because a little UCP group threw it together and knew somebody. Let's see how this goes and just laugh.
Man, it's a wild time we live in. The only consistency we can know is change. That's just the way things roll sometimes. You guys have been friends for a long time, right? How many years?
Oh, geesh.
Like, how long have you known each other?
I feel like we met, was it OhioCon 2010?
Yeah, I think it was 10. I think it'll be 10 years.
Is this our 10-year anniversary?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, OhioCon. Did OhioCon?
It's a January. It's a January.
Then
convention.
I think it's been 10 years then.
Okay, because we were talking a little bit online before then, but I feel like that was when we like really met and we're really like, oh man, not only do we talk to each other on the internet and our friends, we live like 30 minutes from each other. We can just hang out.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did it just sort of like when you guys first met at OhioCon, did it just sort of like just click for you? Because you'd already been talking, was it like...
It did for me. I don't know for him. But,
no, I've been faking it forever.
It took a while.
No,
Still getting there.
It really did. Because we first met through a mutual friend, Zach. I was talking to him. He knew you. I put out this YouTube video, this Fuma no Kojiro abridged. Don't look it up.
That's why you named it specifically.
No, it was. It's fine. But we met through that, and then Zach knew Howard, same Howard who's been here, and then apparently y'all were friends. Yeah. And so then I was like,
because I had talked with Zach and Howard like a little bit. They were like, the internet came late to Canal Winchester, Ohio, so I would consider them among some of like the first online friends I ever made, just because it was like I've got this new Skype thing, and all of these other people who make a Bridge series have their Skype handles in their stuff. I'm just going to shoot them messages and be like, hey, I like your stuff. And then they'd be like, hey, I've seen your stuff too. You're cool. Oh, man, let's get in a call together. And just do that for like 4 hours because, hey, I'm in college and I've got time. And lo and behold, it eventually led to you. God bless that broken Skype road.
Sad been there. It was a very similar story for how I ended up meeting Kaiser and Taka.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how that, like, does that exist with Discord? Does that culture
it
of,
must,
like,
right?
I have to imagine.
There's gotta be some layer
Discord's,
of it.
like, here's the thing about Discord. It's all about fandoms and jumping into
Yeah,
different chat
right.
rooms, basically. It's a chat thread, like, server. So as soon as you like meet somebody there, you can start DMing and talking.
Yeah.
So that has to exist with Discord.
There was just I remember there being just some exclusivity to, I know Zero Master, and Zero Master knows Kaiser Neko.
Yeah,
He's in a
that's-
call with him
Yeah.
and,
The
10
Skype-
other,
the
and
Skype
10 other
networking
people.
The Skype networking game, that was hardball there.
Yeah,
Like,
that was classic. Just being like, oh, you're in a call with this person? Well, I'm not doing anything. If I could, just jump in there.
Is Unwardle's in there? Oh my fucking god.
one of the first time I got got brought into like a group chat.
Dragged.
No, it was dragged is accurate. This was the first time I met Taka, actually.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And it was just somebody, I don't even remember who they were, but they were like, hey, I'm in this chat with these people and these people. I'm like, what? Who? They do G Gundam Abridged. And so I met Taka and Cheeseman for the first time. I'm like, oh, I've seen that. I like that. I think it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and that's the first time I met Taka. And, Taka, he's extroverted as hell. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
energy.
I'm getting pulled into every conversation with him.
Yep.
And man, like those were interesting times back before the 2010s.
And also,
Yeah.
like, for me, like, personally, it kind of came at, like, a perfect time where I had sort of a glut of free time.
Yes.
And everyone I knew was almost seeming perpetually busy.
the first couple of years of college, it's like, I could go to class or I could make this YouTube video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I had this time, I knew other people who were in similar situations over the internet, and all of my local friends were busy, like, either with day jobs or something. So it was like, I need something social to fill my time here. Let's just jump on the internet and talk to these people who live across the country, and it just so happens our schedules are lining up. And it's like, I feel like that could not happen for me now, really, and could not have happened really before then for me. It was like, it only worked at that perfect intersection of time, and it's sort of amazing how many major life things that has affected since.
Seriously, I always think it's a crazy fucking miracle that I made a video, you watched it, you could talk, and then you happened to live close to me, and then we hung out, and then I
Yeah.
stayed at your place when I hated Florida. And now we're here.
It was a crazy just string of coincidences. And like even before then, apparently like my dumb One Piece video Gun Piece was something
Gun Piece?
you were
I
aware of.
didn't even know of who you were. I just knew. Have you seen Gun Piece? I just showed it to everybody.
Yeah, and so like it's really weird how all that stuff kind of just lined up perfectly and was the classic situation of our planet Earth of its perfect distance from the sun, where just a couple degrees off, never would have found each other. Totally different course in life. Wild.
Now we live close and never hang out because he hates me.
No, that's true.
Well, also, we're all adults, and adulting is
No,
lonely.
it's because he hates me.
It's all
fair enough.
personal, always.
Always personal, all the time.
That is.
I know that I originally met you online through Kaiser.
Mhm.
I think we played like League.
League.
A couple of times there.
Because Gutted Ren was playing
Mhm.
stuff with them, and they were like, Kirran, you're a good jungler. You should come in and fuck up their shit. We're playing with TFS. Ooh, okay. I can't wait to make Taka mad. That's exactly what I said as I'm
Yup.
over here Udyr palming and running away.
I'd be sitting in the top lane, just Teemoing my ass off. And it wasn't until Chaoticon 2014, 2012. I can't
I know
remember.
we met at, I think, Omni Expo.
Omni Expo, that was
Omni Expo is where we met.
Yeah, Omni Expo. Chaoticon was a couple years previous and
Yeah.
in the relatively same area. That was where we first met, and we both made Taka try to figure out that he had to, like,
Yeah,
EV training was actually training
Yeah, we
an
said
EV in
Training
Pokemon.
EVs, of course.
Yeah, you need to have an EV on your team if you're going to be competitive. And
Yeah.
he believed it for an exorbitant
He
amount
might-
of
he
time.
might-
Doesn't matter which
Continue to.
form, just you gotta EV train one of them.
You need to have an EV.
Yeah.
Like
No.
that was the first time we actually met. Eventually moved down to Dallas. That's where we reunited for the first time, and you were literally TFS employee number 1 after we started this company.
I was, yeah.
And then, Grant, you came to visit one day while we were
I ruined everything.
while we were playing Bloodborne. I remember you just sitting there very quietly while we were streaming and recording.
Well, Bloodborne was the one I felt okay talking on because I was essentially brought in as an expert.
Was Xenoverse the first time?
I think Bloodborne was one of the first times I had come there. But I feel like I felt comfortable talking on that one. I don't know if it was because it was like a stream or something, so it was live.
Right.
So I felt more like, well, it's understandable that like you'd have a guest coming through on a live show, so that's fine.
Yeah, I remember like we were recording a video the first time, and you were just sitting there very quiet. I'm like, oh, he's a very quiet guy.
Yeah, I think I was around for some Batman recordings, one of the Arkham games, and some Xenoverse. And it was just like, well, they've already done episodes of this, so like people are expecting it to be just these guys. So I'm visiting Kirran, and I'm just going with him wherever he goes. So I'll just sit here quiet and let them work. I'll do my own thing, and then I'll come like talk to them later. And then like during one of them, like you like asked me something, and I'm just like, oh, I'm allowed to talk? Like, I didn't think I was supposed to. I was here assuming I was supposed to be quiet because you guys were busy working and quiet on the set. I'm just here, watching actors at play.
I felt so bad after that. I'm like, oh my God.
And it was like no one had said anything to me.
No,
one had told me that.
I told him, I said, Grant, you can't talk.
You must shut up.
You have to sit there and let me work.
And then you pull the fast one on him by asking him a question.
Is this a trick? If I speak, will I be destroyed?
No, I'm happy we've been able to do this shit. Like we were recording and playing stuff for fun for years beforehand.
And not only that, for years we were like, and then we'll finally trick someone to pay for us to travel and see each other at conventions. Never thinking about, the long con of like, what if we just moved near each other?
Yeah, no, it's been a wild ride, honestly. It's crazy to think it all happened with a bridge shit.
Yeah, no,
That's where it all began.
Almost hurts me a little bit knowing that was the true genesis.
Nah, it was fun.
You gotta respect the stuff you come from, for sure.
It was the genesis of all of this. This is the house that Anime Parodies built.
Thanks, Mark.
Our foam held onto walls by stucco glue.
Feels nice.
It does.
You could probably run into that wall and not get hurt too bad.
I mean, if you depending on which one you run into, you probably either end up in our neighbor's area or in the PAX studio. But yeah, hell of a ride. Hope it continues to be a hell of a ride longer.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining me here today.
Yeah, of course.
It's fun.
It's been fun.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And thank you all for tuning in for the Talkcast Podshow. We'll see you guys next time.